5 games in a row. I don't see any better way to celebrate than chatting with Big O. What is up, Finn fans? Another great episode of the Big O Show and me, yo, DouglieDoWrong show. I don't know. Just another great episode of me and Big O chatting. Very good conversation this week. Going into the bye, 5-game winning streak. We're just both pumped. A lot of good to talk about. Some bad. There's always something bad to talk about. But mostly good. Waddle, Phillips, the rookies. Just, it's a lot too good to talk about. Before we jump into it real quick, I have to shout out a new patron, and Louis Sardor. I hope I said your last name right. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon. I just want to reiterate to you guys, if you are a Patreon member or you are a membership member, and I do have a Discord. I have a Discord going for just the patrons and the members, and if you guys want to be a part of it, let me know, and I'll add you to the Discord. The way you can let me know, just email me, because if you comment it below, I might not see it, because in the time, you know, it's just email me, or you can hit me up on Twitter or on Instagram in a DM. But hit me up if you want to be part of the Discord as a member and as a Patreon. The lowest group, I guess you can call it, of, you know, there's different tiers. The lowest tier, that's, you get to become a Discord member. So if you want to be part of the Discord, great conversation going on over there, let me know. Other than that, check out Backroom Collections. Gotta shout them out. It's a holiday season. You might want to go out, get yourself, your father. Hey, maybe your mother is a Red Sox fan. You want to get her some fantastic artwork. Backroom Collections. I'm telling you, they have everything. For every sport you could think of, they got it. Hit them up. Use the promo code DDW. You get yourself 10% off. Perfect time of the year to do it. Get yourself something or get your loved one something. But on that, guys, let's jump into a fantastic... I can't talk. It's the push-ups. The push-ups got to be. Another fantastic conversation with Big O. And yeah, other than that, I'm not going to do the post anymore. I've realized it's kind of redundant for me to do an intro and then come back and do a post if I'm not doing comment of the day for these, because the conversations are so long. So, say classy offends up. I'll say it now, but yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Breaking down film. This is going to be a good one. Another week. This time, another win. Big O. Usually when I say another week, it's like it's another loss. But now,
right,
5 in a row.
Yeah, no, that 7-game was weighing on us because we.
Oh my God.
Like there was no light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? And it was like, okay, now there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and things are looking better, and they're a game from 500, and you legitimately have 3 more games to go over 500.
Mm-hmm.
You got a shot at a back-to-back winning seasons, which is something we're also not used to as Dolphin fans. So yeah, man, it's just really nice to see the young players playing really well, and you know the offense is getting by. Is what it's getting by as best as it possibly can right now, with the limitations that it has, but the defense has excelled, man. It's been a lot of fun. It's good to have Devontae back, because it adds a dimension that they did not have.
Yeah, and that catch he had for the first down where he like turned around, got his feet in.
The second one, yes.
Yeah, I just wish he could stay healthy, because he is dynamic when he's on the field. He's just
he would have been a Hall of Fame player if he stays healthy. If he didn't have the injuries, period, because obviously all these injuries have taken a toll on him, and he'll never be the player that he was supposed to be, the one that, you know, the good Lord blessed him with that abilities. But it shows you that even that, as limited as he is, he can still go out there. And again, the anticipatory throw by Tua on that second one, to know where his guy is going to be, not where the DB is going to be. Let me put it somewhere where you don't teach that, dude.
No,
you don't teach that.
And I pointed this out, and I got a lot of flack for this, but I pointed out that Tua seemed a little off on some of his throws yesterday. He sailed a few, and by me saying that, people are getting on me saying like, "What do you mean? Why are you so critical of Tua?"
How dare you? He didn't throw for 96%. You know what I mean?
Hey, I could point out the bad and praise the good. Like it's okay.
But then again, he hits Gesicki in the face mask in the end zone, and you
Oh my
caught that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude. You know, it's like, let's go, brother. You got to catch that one too. You know, Waddle had one that he should have.
That would have been like he would have had 100 yards on the game if you caught that pass.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly. He would have. I mean, so just like, yeah, but again, if you're gonna throw, what was it, 31 passes, right? Or is that what he was?
Something like that. Yeah.
31. You know, you're gonna miss on a couple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he only missed on a couple. So, you know, it's just he's human, and so are the receivers, obviously, because they drop some. And then again, the dime he dropped on Gesicki in the middle of the field,
right in there,
right
over the defender too, like right over the defender.
Yeah.
That's my biggest. I love Tua because of his accuracy. But again, this is where I got flack in my video yesterday. Is I pointed out that he makes throws like the touchdown last week, where he threw that right in between two defenders. But then there's plays where he has like a brain fart, where he had Waddle deep last week, or this week he threw the check down instead of he had time in the pocket. And that's where I talk about he's still learning and he's gonna get better. And by me saying
if you
that,
also get your ass kicked in the pocket and crashed ribs and all that, you can't mind the check down. Sometimes you kind of understand that. I got time. Do I have to? Wow, this is surprising. That's what happens next. You know what I'm saying? So he probably just habit. Let me get rid of it. Hot potato, you know, that kind of stuff. So I don't blame the kid because he's taking a pounding back there. So it's almost like I want to stay on the field. I got to make sure I protect myself. Let me get rid of the ball, you know?
Yeah. And he'll learn. The more he plays it. And that's the other thing. People want that instant gratification. We were just talking about it before we came on. Jalen Phillips, instant gratification. Oh, where's Jalen? First, like 5-6 weeks. Where's Jalen Phillips? Jalen Phillips is a bust. Why aren't we seeing him do anything? 8.5 sacks. He broke the Miami Dolphins rookie record for sacks.
55 years the team's been around. He owns the record. So it's like I told you off the air. Now, all of a sudden, some of you wanted Greer fired, and now this is turning into one of the great drafts in Dolphin history. Actually, okay, this is turning into one of the great, and I actually went over the drafts. If you look at it, the last couple of years now, because I only measure Greer on these last 3 years. I don't get into the silliness of talking about it. But you've got Waddle, Phillips, and Holland. Once they get a real offensive line coach, Eichenberg will go to right tackle, and he still may turn into a player. Hunter Long, there was a sighting yesterday. The kid can't play because he's got 87 tight ends in front of him, so he still could be a good player. Okay, Larnell Coleman and Gerald Dokes, let's just say that's done. But you hit on 3 studs. You got a possibility of getting 4 or 5 with Eichenberg and Long, okay? The year before that, Tua's a hit. I still think Robert Hunt will be a good player, and I love Raekwon Davis and Brandon Jones. So let's say you got 3, 4 working with Robert Hunt. Now, Noah doesn't play because he's got 2 corners in front of him. This offseason, you can bet your life they will trade one of those 2 guys. And Noah will be inserted in there, and they'll find out whether he can sink or swim, and we'll all find out on that. But for now, Tua's working out, Hunt's working out, Raekwon Davis is working out, and Brandon Jones is working out. So now, if we can find out, I don't know if Austin Jackson can ever be a good one. But if Noah can play, that would be your 5th guy. If Solomon Kinley can play, that'll be your 6th guy. You go back to 2019, where they only had 6 picks on that one. Christian Wilkins is a hit. Andrew Van Ginkel is a hit. And as a 7th round pick, Myles Gaskin is a hit. I don't care what anybody tells me. Okay, so then now we need Dieter to come through. And then all of a sudden, if Dieter comes through, you got 4 out of your 6 picks. So where are the complaints? Why are we complaining about this guy? And I believe Marvin Allen, Reggie McKenzie, and Chris Greer are one of the best front offices in the NFL. They are not the problem, just like the people that were complaining about Tua. Tua's not the problem. Problem right now is coaching, is what I've been saying for a couple of months now. And that's what's rearing its ugly head. It's not a matter of a lack of talent. It's a matter of a lack of offensive coaching, as in the QB coach, the O-line coach, and the O coordinator. Those three coaches must be upgraded, and upgraded big time if the Dolphins are ever going to get to where you and I want to be at, is celebrating. You know, Doug, you and I have to be at a Super Bowl during Super Bowl week, talking about the game, and then after the game celebrating, and we're probably all, you know, half drunk or whatever, but we'll be talking about the win and all that kind of stuff. But our Dolphins will never get there if they don't have the proper offensive coaches.
100%. Yeah. And looking at the draft picks, you know, so many people we took Javon Holland. Yeah, we missed up on Javonte Williams. That's because the Broncos jumped ahead of us. But we take Javon Holland. Some people are like, I had him as the best safety in that draft class, but some people didn't. Why would you take Javon Holland? We don't need a safety, yada yada yada. We take Jalen Phillips. Well, oh, you should have took Najee. Why didn't you take Najee? And then we take Waddle. You know, Penei Sewell versus Waddle. There's that old debate.
By the way, a defensive end or a running back? No brainer. You get the defensive end. The running back.
It's always build the trenches. Build the trenches. That wins you games. Trenches.
I did this yesterday. Harris, going into yesterday's game, 196 carries, 708 yards, 3.6 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns, longest run of the year, 20 yards. Gaskin, 139 to his 196, 482 to his 708, 3.5 to his 3.6, 5 touchdowns to 3 touchdowns, and his longest run is 20 yards. My point is, you can draft Najee Harris. If you don't have the line, he's going to struggle the same way. There's no difference between the two guys. If you gave him the 60 carries that he doesn't have from Harris, they would have pretty much the same yardage and totals and touchdowns, because he'd pick up 2 more touchdowns in those 200 yards. So this whole thing, you know, and I love Najee Harris, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if you don't fix the line, it doesn't matter. Now, Jalen Phillips, baby. You get a pass rusher that's going to get double-digit sacks now to start his rookie year. By the way, Jason Taylor, 5.5 the first year, 2.5 or 3.5 his second year, and then 9.5 his third year. So Jalen Phillips is going to beat Jason Taylor's totals through his first 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So you always take a pass rusher over a running back every day of the week and twice on Sundays. If you actually had a good line, Gaskin would be averaging over 4 yards a carry.
If we had a good line, the offense would be just torching people right now.
Yes. They'd have 10 wins.
I was looking at the
9 or 10
yesterday with Austin Jackson. I think it was 3rd down. It was like the first half, and it was a play action. And then Austin Jackson has no one to block.
Yeah, I know.
And then he peels out to his left, and then the rusher comes through where he was supposed to. But he peels out to his left to nobody. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you leaving if you have no one to block, then help a double team or something. Like,
right.
I'm not even an offensive line coach, and I know that. Like, that's when I saw that. I was like, maybe Austin Jackson isn't. Maybe it's Austin Jackson and not.
Or he has terrible coaching that isn't really preparing him well. That's why I want to find out, because I believe that Eichenberg and Hunt can be players for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Eichenberg at right tackle and Hunt at right guard. And I liked what I was seeing from Dieter as he was developing. So I think there's potential for the 3 guys. I don't know enough about Austin Jackson. I love Solomon Kinley's attitude, but I need to get a good offensive line coach to teach the kid, and maybe he can become a lineman. Look, man, most of the defensive players are hitting.
Yeah.
So there has to be some good ones in this O-line group. It's just you don't have the right people to get it out of them. And like I've said 100 times already, there's no way everybody else is developing and you completely sucked with all your picks on the O-line. I'm not believing that. No.
Did you hear Jerome Baker? They asked him before the game, like, his change, because he's not Mike anymore. He's not the middle linebacker anymore. He's kind of where he was when he got the contract extension, you know? And they asked him, like, where would you prefer? What do you do? Why did it take 7 losses for them to start going to the defensive players and ask them, okay, what do you think will make your job better? And where do you want, like, why? And this is where I understand where
Do they have to ask, like, okay, Jerome Baker had 7.5 sacks last year. What did we do last year to free him up? Why don't we do that again? and it's just like, that's what as much as Flo knows defense, that's where he screwed up this year. He helped bury his team in that 7-game losing streak because he did not play the same kind of attacking style. We weren't watching Van Ginkel and Phillips on one side attacking like we've seen now. We haven't seen Phillips move around at the beginning of the year like they did. They took him away from passing, from covering out in coverage, because Flo did the asinine thing. He overloaded the kid from the beginning and slowed him down instead of, okay, kid, this is what you can do. All right, great. All right, you've been doing a great job for the first month. You got a couple sacks. All right, let's add a little bit. Do you see? A lot of people don't notice this, but that's what they're trying to do with Mac Jones. Belichick drafted Mac Jones and said, okay, we're going to build a wall in front of him in a line. We're going to get him a running game. We're going to sign 2 tight ends. We're going to go sign a wide receiver. We're going to try to make life easy for this kid. Now we're going to play him in a box. And that's what they do. He plays in a 20-yard box. He barely goes downfield ever. But it's not because he can't. It's not because he won't. It's because that's what's designed.
Yeah.
And what Belichick is doing is slowly, gradually adding more responsibilities to Mac and try to see if he can become the complete passer, especially downfield. But he wants him to build a confidence in the first half here around. Plus, he's got such a great defense that if you can control the game by running, if you can control the passing game like Miami did at the end of the first half and the end of the game, where you don't have a running game, but you have an effective, accurate mofo as a passer who can pick you apart and use the running game like a passing game. And that's what they do in New England. If people notice, they don't notice because they just look at the record and they just think, oh, they must be throwing downfield and receivers must be getting 80-yard passes. No, that's not what's going on. And that's how they're doing. They're building them up slowly. That's what they should have done with Jalen Phillips.
Yes.
But that's the difference between a Belichick and a Padawan.
And it's funny, too, because you bring up with Mac Jones the fact that they didn't rely on him. They didn't, okay, you need to win. We're going to, the defense is going to do
it. Game manager.
I noticed that with the Falcons game, right? The Falcons game, the Patriots won 25-0, and Mac Jones threw 1 touchdown and 1 interception, and they won 25-0. It had nothing to do with Mac Jones at all. It had everything to do with their defense, getting pick sixes, taking the ball away, all that stuff. Tua Tagovailoa those 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and we lose 30-28 to the same exact team. And so many people want to put that loss on Tua's 2 interceptions, not on the fact that we couldn't stop the team 1 time in 2 minutes. And it boggles my mind how people don't see what the Patriots did with Mac Jones, whereas, like you said, I'm going to build this line. And they didn't really draft. It was a combination of draft and signing. They brought Thuney back and everything. With that, they did it right. Whereas the Dolphins, on the other hand, were like, we're inexperienced. These first and second year players are going to do great. And you know what? We're going to put Jesse Davis on your blind side because Jesse Davis is he's fantastic.
He's a 6 man, but we're going to use him as a starter.
We're going to use him as the number 1 man to block your butt.
The blind side of the quarterback.
Oh, and then we're going to
only Flo would think of that.
Turnstile, and then we're going to break your ribs. But let's talk about positives, right? We talked about Jalen and his record breaking. Waddle, the other Jalen, breaks the record for receptions on the Miami Dolphins. Jarvis Landry, he is only 16 receptions away from breaking the NFL's record for receptions by a rookie held by Anquan Bolden.
He's going to crush that with 4 games left.
What's Who thinks he's not going to get 4 games? Four catches a game. Like, come on, it's going to happen. He's also 16. He's how many yards? He's a certain amount of 35 yards from breaking Chris Chambers' record for receiving yards as a rookie for the Miami Dolphins. And he's
what's more impressive than all of that? That he's a rookie and the defense knows the ball's going to him.
100%.
The DB that lines up against him has to know I'm going to do a lot of work today. I'm going to get a lot of opportunities to try to intercept, and yet they can't do it.
Oh.
And yet they can't stop him. And yet he continues to, I was worried about the drops early. Remember, we were talking about it. He had one this week. But overall, for a while now, he's eliminated those drops and all those concerns. But it's going to him.
Yeah.
He's a rookie, and you can't stop him. That to me is the most impressive thing. I had OJ McDuffie on the show today, and I told him, dude, he reminds me of you.
Yeah.
Although OJ was like quick to say, well, no, wait a minute, he's got an extra gear. I go, no, not speed. I get it, OJ. But I'm saying toughness, clutch, and third down. Marino was going to you. We all knew it.
Oh yeah.
And you still caught it. You know what I'm saying? That's this sumbitch right here. No matter what, it's coming to Waddle, and you can't stop it. You know how impressive that is for a rookie?
Oh, yeah.
To be carrying that burden? It's freaking awesome, dude.
And like I said, we were all like, Penei Sewell. But the more we're seeing Waddle develop, it's that talent that if they re-sign Gesicki, the defense now has to decide, who are we going to double team? Because if we double team Gesicki, we're going to leave Waddle open. And if we double team Waddle, we're going to leave. And then if we double team them both, all of a sudden, hopefully, Mac Hollins gets open down deep, or whoever else, Kirk Merritt, maybe. I don't know. We don't know what the thought process is when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. Because
second and 15 yesterday, draw play. Come on, dude. Let's go, bro. You've got the most accurate passer out there. Let him get a 6, 7 yard or 8 yarder. So we have a third and 7 or 8, 2 yards or a yard, or maybe a yard loss or something. I forgot what it was, but I'm looking at that and it's like, that's the problem with this team. Those kind of things right there.
I was talking about this yesterday, and you noticed it with Philip Lindsay getting banged up, rolled his ankle. Hopefully he comes back for the Jets game. And then Patrick Laird going down. You saw how important a running back that can pass block is, because on some of the third downs, like Gaskin, he completely didn't stay in long enough to block, and he went out and it was a sack. Incredibly important for these types of running backs. And yeah, Myles Gaskin, I like him. I think he can be a good complementary back, but I still think we need that. We need that like number one legit running back that can do everything. That's when Philip Lindsay came in last week and he started to play, I was like, there it is, because this guy's good enough to be able to break tackles and get the run, but he's also very good at pass blocking. So it's like the whole Gesicki trait, where if Gesicki's in, and he's in line, they're not running the ball. It's play action all day, every day. So it's kind of like when Laird's back there on third down, on 3rd and 2, they're not running it. They're going to pass it because they need the action. So I'm hoping Lindsay can start to develop into something good, but
I think he was like banged up. They said, all right, we'll rest him, and we got the bye, and so that way he's ready for the stretch run. We really need those games. And they probably said, hey, we can win this game without him, and they were right, and they went and won the game without him. But they're going to need him for not necessarily the Jets, but the 3 games after that. That are your hardest games of this stretch. Well, I'm over for Baltimore along with those 3 games. But yeah, those are games that you want to win. And obviously, if you can win the next 3 and set yourself up to play New England for that final game and pick up a victory, that would be a really nice way to end the season.
If New England falters, which I don't expect it to happen, but if New England falters and they lose to the Bills twice, and then somehow they lose to the Colts, that game decides who gets into the playoffs when it comes to the Dolphins versus the Patriots.
Yeah.
Which that might be
it's all possible. All those things are possible.
Very possible.
And I think Buffalo is starting to play a little better now.
Yeah.
So I hate to say that, but I think they're starting to find their mojo a little bit, although they had a big loss in their secondary, so that's going to hurt them. But they're a good team, man. They're a damn good team. So we'll see how they play down the stretch, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I don't want to talk too much playoffs with the Dolphins until we're a week out or 2 that it becomes a little bit more realistic. Right now, I'd rather stay conservative and just enjoy the weeks and enjoy this week off, and then get ready, and let's see if they can kick the Jets' ass and then move on and feel a little better every time about the season.
Yeah, and because as much as like we're looking forward, which I don't like to, but at this point, it's like you can't not. It's like when your parents are like, "Oh, look, I put your Christmas gifts upstairs. Don't go upstairs," and you're like, "I want to see what I got up there." The Jets scare the crap out of me more than the Saints, the Titans, or the Patriots because they have nothing really to play for, and that is the most dangerous team. So,
and we've lived it. You know, we've been on both sides of it. Whether you're the bad team that has no hope, whether you're the Dolphins or the Jets, and the other team's better, and somehow or another you come up with the miracle performance and you end up winning. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that it's one of those that makes you nervous. But the way they're playing, they should win.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Just the defense needs to keep their foot on the gas and be aggressive, especially if Zach Wilson's playing. Get after him. He's a rookie. He's been making mistakes left and right. Speaking of the rookie quarterbacks, Joe Burrow getting banged up. No one's talking about that. Is he injury prone?
Second year in a row. Second year in a row. I mean, you got to solve your offensive line issues, dude. You got to be able to protect the kid. You know what I'm saying? And this year they've been able to do a much better job than a couple of years ago where he took a freaking pounding until he blew out his knee. You know, it was one of those deals. But yeah, that's and you know, it's like the Jake Long thing. Jake Long was never injury prone. And then all of a sudden, Tony Sperano decides to keep him on a rainy night with a baseball field in a preseason game in the fourth quarter because he wants more continuity and chemistry on the line. So you're going to put your best player on your team or second best with JT out there and he's got to play. And you're like, what the F are you thinking, dude? And he ends up blowing out his knee. And the weird part is that from that moment on, he became an injury-prone player because that one injury triggered other injuries, and he overcompensated for that injury, and it created another, and then another, and another, and he was never the same player again. And we are talking about one of the best left tackles in the NFL at that moment. He was a top 3 left tackle in the NFL. Some considered him the number 1 left tackle in the NFL, and the Dolphins ruined him by playing him more than they should have on a baseball field on a rainy night in the fourth quarter of a preseason game. These are the kind of things that are inexcusable, dude. But the Burrow thing, to answer in a long way, it's strange that it does happen to players sometimes. That they're not injury prone, but that one injury
nagging,
it just becomes just that boulder rolling downhill, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's a shame. And you know what? I hope that's not the case for Joe Burrow. You know, because I want all the good quarterbacks to survive unless they play for the Jets. But I want all or the Bills or the Patriots. No, but seriously, I just, you know, I'm not one of those that wishes ill on players and things like that. It's bad for the game, dude. It's not
competition. Competition breeds, you know, that fire in certain players, and 100%. Because and
I like him, by the way. I like Burrow. Actually,
he's got that like swagger to him.
I like him.
And it's funny too because you know this deters from really the Dolphins, but we talk about injury. Look at Frank Gore. He tore his knee up 2 times in 1 year, and is he still playing, or is he falling out of the roster?
In fact, he held a press conference today here in Miami because he has a boxing match coming up, and so he is a boxer now, and so he's training for a fight now. Yes, so he's a professional boxer now.
Would you sign?
I was going to be at that. I was going to be at that workout today. I was going to do my show, but things didn't work out. But go ahead. Sorry.
Would you sign Frank Gore for the next 4 games?
No. I don't, you know, it's like I read the Najee Harris stats to you. At this point, it doesn't matter who you sign. He's got to be Barry Sanders or Ricky Williams. He's got to be one of those guys that are just so special to make this line look that much better because he's such a dynamic player that you can do stuff like that. There's no back like that right now. They don't have anybody available to them. They didn't have anybody available in the draft. Najee Harris was not that guy. So really, until you fix the line, it doesn't matter who you bring in, dude. It's just not going to get any better. It really isn't.
I noticed it on a few runs yesterday. If I think it was Hunt at one point or Dieter at another point. if they just held their block for literally a second more, we were breaking off like 30-yard runs at a time, because I saw with Ahmed, there was no one in front of him, and the defender just grabbed him like as soon as he hit the hole. I was like, come on, just one more second, just hold that block, and we'd be break. The last time we had a 100-yard rusher, I think, was Ahmed last year against the Patriots. And before that, it was 2 years, and it was
oh, I don't even remember now.
It was against the Vikings. I can't remember his name. I think he's on the Chargers right now.
You talk about Balaj?
Yeah.
It was Kalen Balaj?
Yeah, against the Vikings. He broke off a big 70-yard run, and then I think he got a few more. That was 2018. Yeah, 2018. So 2018, 2020. I'd like a consistent 100-yard rusher. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me. When was the last time we had a 1,000-yard rusher? Like, JJ.
Oh, yeah, JJ, 1,100.
2016.
Yeah.
Can we get a running game going, please? Because I'm pretty sure
until you get the damn line fixed, it's not going to happen. But I'll tell you what, for all you deep shot fools out there, you want a bunch of deep shots, get the damn running game going, and you're going to see a whole bunch of deep shots. But till then, you're going to see a short, quick passing game, because one thing I'm very proud of Tua is he has learned to play under chaos.
Yes.
And he's done a really good job of adjusting to a chaotic situation. And the kid is doing exactly what he needs to do in this terrible environment for a quarterback. Get rid of the ball, kid. Make a quick decision and get rid of it.
Yeah. And you're seeing it, because he might have, and I've noticed this, and even some of the commenters said it, that when he gets time, he probably doesn't realize it, because he's you said, he's so used to, I have 2 seconds, that once he gets 2 in his head, he's like, I gotta get rid of the ball. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I have another 2 or 3. And then he just forces passes. And he's growing.
Gotta also remember, it gets to a point. The guy's had several injuries.
Yeah.
You're tired of getting injured. That's what we got from Andrew Luck. I'm tired of the pain, the injury, the rehab, pain, injury, rehab, pain, injury. I think that's the order he mentioned it in. And it's got to be tiresome, dude. You fixed one ankle, you fixed another ankle, now you fixed your hip, now you got to fix your ribs, now you got to fix your finger. So it has to be a pain in the ass. And then you've got all these idiots like me demanding you play at a high level when you're all messed up. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just one of those things. So you want to protect this kid, man.
Yeah.
Dolphins finally have a quarterback. Protect him, bro.
We're all in that same boat, though, where we're always like, come on, you got to do it, and come on, you got to fight through it, come on, not realizing that he's a human being, and at some point it takes a mental toll on you, consistently getting smashed. So we're all there.
Dude, most of us would struggle to go back to work alone with a hip surgery. Okay, we probably say, oh, can I work from home? Here's this guy going out on an NFL field getting crushed by a defensive lineman and being not protected by Jesse Davis. I mean, think about that. Okay, I'm sure his agent already got him like 3 extra life insurance policies. Seriously.
It's funny too, because I started doing this thing because I'm always the thought process that the universe works against me. So on my live streams last week, I said, if the Dolphins get an interception on this drive, I'm going to do 20 push-ups. Boom, interception. I had to do 20 push-ups. This past week, the offense was just stagnant for like a whole quarter and a half. And I said, if they get a touchdown on this drive, I'll do 20 push-ups. And then I said, I'll do 20 push-ups for every touchdown, thinking to myself, the universe is going to be like, they're going to drop 21 right now. And you're good. And I had to. And today, my arms are killing me.
Imagine.
So I
could challenge for me, ladies and gentlemen, will never happen. Just want you to know that. Okay. I want you to know that. If I'm going to demand to do any kind of push-ups, maybe 2, not 20. Okay. I'll be lucky to do 2. All right. A better man than I am, Doug.
I'm trying. After having a kid, it takes its toll on you physically as a man, not only just as a woman. Like, I got a gut. I don't do anything. You take care of the baby. You sit down, you do this, you take care of the baby. And then, I have to eat. And then you eat McDonald's and then you sit on your butt.
Exactly.
So that was like a kind of like, all right, let me help myself get back into shape, which is probably never going to happen. But Another great episode, Big O. Where can they find you and what do you got going on this week?
Well, you can find us on our YouTube channel, Big O Radio Show, on all platforms. But please subscribe and follow there on YouTube. But you can also find Big O Radio Show on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, all that good stuff. Last week, by the way, we were at Larry Little's Hall of Fame dinner. So we interviewed Larry Little and John Offerdahl and Tony Nathan. And so we were able to talk to a bunch of Dolphin greats. It's on there if you guys want to check it out. Today, we had O.J. McDuffie on, along with Omar Kelly. We got a whole bunch of insiders on our show. Joe Shad, Alan Poupar, and Omar Kelly are 3 Dolphin beat writers who are exclusive to us on our station, not on our show, not anywhere locally that can be found. So lots of ways. Yes, we do talk other sports at times. It is a South Florida sports talk show. It does center around the Dolphins, obviously, year-round. So follow us and check it out. Big O Radio Show on all platforms.
Real quick before we get out of here, what's your thoughts on the new Miami coach?
Oh, I love it. I love the hire. I was shocked, by the way. First of all, I never thought they would spend this kind of money because they never spend this kind of money. So I am incredibly impressed by them to spend that kind of money. And Mario now can get a staff to get the rest of it done. Overall, but I think it's a good move. Manny Diaz had, a few years and his teams were never organized. No. And it's just a shame. And I know they ended strong, but I'm not just like the whole 5-game winning streak right now with the Dolphins. I'm not a prisoner of the moment. Flo has a lot of flaws, a lot of flaws. And if you can't build a staff, it's a major flaw. You'll never win that way. And Diaz just showed me he can never have organization. And Cristobal does have organization. Now, there's one thing that we all have to really look at it here. Cristobal has never dominated the Pac-12, then gone to the playoffs and beat Alabama. So now we are asking Mario Cristobal to be great, something he's never done at Oregon. So there's going to be more pressure here. You're not getting a coach that already has built a championship team and championship programs, and now he's coming to do it here. No, you're not getting that. You're still getting a guy that has not done and won at the highest level, even playing in a weak conference. He doesn't even dominate the weak conference year in and year out. So it will be a little bit of a challenge for Mario, but he's a tireless worker. Yeah. He's a great recruiter. When he was in Alabama, he was the #1 recruiter in the country. So the guy's going to recruit his ass off. It's the best option for the Miami Hurricanes. Plus, they stole the AD from Clemson, and Clemson just lost their defensive coordinator also to Oklahoma. So they have weakened the biggest challenger in the ACC in the process while they're getting strong. So who knows? Maybe this is where the tide turns for the University of Miami.
Hopefully, let's go back to the 90s, early 2000s of the U.
80s too, baby. 80s.
The U, baby. Yes, sir.
By the way, I went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame on Wednesday, right? So I went to go see the Genesis concert in Cleveland, and I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then I went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So when I went, you see these banners behind me all there. I found a new one, coolest banner that I have so far. I have to put it up. This is the Hall of Fame banner.
Oh,
and it has the old logo.
I love that logo.
But it has all the Hall of Fame.
Wow. That's awesome.
Hopefully I have to buy it again and they add Zach this year.
Please.
But yes, well deserved. Please. Definitely deserves to get in there. I mean, the Marx brothers are supposed to be in there, but whatever. But anyway, it was so cool to go to the Hall of Fame again. Last time I went was for Marino's induction. I want to go for Zach's induction if it does happen. But I saw that banner there, and I that's the only place I've ever seen it. Because I usually check. I'm a geeky Dolphin fan too, so I check for Dolphin stuff just like you do. As I can see your right, exactly. I had never seen that banner anywhere else except there in the Hall of Fame.
That's awesome.
So just in case for you Dolphin fans out there, if you want that banner, you can call a Pro Football Hall of Fame or go on their website. They probably have it. and I had it shipped to the house, and now I got to put it up, man. But it is beautiful, dude. It is beautiful.
All right, bud. Well, bye week. I'm pretty sure we'll do a video next week. Why not?
Fine with me. I'm ready to rock. Yeah,
we'll talk about nonsense.
Yeah, we'll preview. I mean, nonsense is. I'm a pro at talking nonsense. I'm doing that for 31 years, dude. Nonsense. I know. We're averaging over 60,000 downloads a day and 1.8 million a month. That's a lot of nonsense.
There's a lot of nonsense.
A lot of nonsense.
All right, but I'll see you next week.
Right,
no
man.
win or
Much
loss,
love.
so we'll get to enjoy it.
You got it. Fins up out there.